Hi, welcome to the Amber Shows. Happy Tuesday. It's raining here today. Doesn't last long, so I have to stay inside to do my news. Let's get down to it really fast because I have a lot of stuff I wanted to just touch on really quick. A lot of people don't know this, but Dr. Martin Luther King's mother, she was murdered in church. She was murdered in 1974, Mrs. Alberta Williams King. She was the mother of Dr. Martin Luther King. She was shot and killed, and the murder happened as she sat at an organ in the Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta. Suddenly, Marcus Wayne Chenault, 23, opened fire and killed her. Okay? So we don't even know this. You know, we're talking about the 9 people in South Carolina, which is, of course, it's horrible. But, I mean, this has been happening. We're acting like this is new. It's not new. This has been happening. You know, because of social media, we're learning more things. I'm trying to give you information. You have blogs. You have all types of information sources now. So let's read. Let's know our history. And let's pass this information down. Maybe if these young kids knew about what's happened to us in our history, maybe a light bulb will go off. And they'll pull their pants up. They'll want to stay in school. They'll want to learn. They'll become interested. Maybe they want to become an activist. They want to help other black children, help their community. Please, learn and read. Please. Dr. Martin Luther King's brother, he also was murdered. They were saying that he drowned in his swimming pool when his wife said he could swim. He was a good swimmer. He was the youngest of the 3 in the family. And after his brother's assassination, you know, it was speculated that he had become very depressed, was drinking or whatever. But they found his body floating in his swimming pool. You know, we have to learn and read. For the last part of his life, he was afflicted by depression after his brother got killed. He moved to Louisville, Kentucky, where he became a pastor at the Zion Baptist Church. After the death of his brother, he returned to Ebenezer Baptist Church, where in September 1968, he was installed as a co-pastor there. He was praised by his father as an able preacher, a concerned and loving pastor. On July 21st, 1969, 9 days before his 39th birthday, his name was A.D. King, was found dead in the swimming pool of his home. The cause of his death was listed as an accidental drowning. However, it is also speculated that he was murdered. His wife said there is no doubt in her mind, her name was Naomi King, that her husband was killed. All right, let's talk about President Obama. He used the N-word. Yes, he did. In an interview, President Barack Obama yesterday used the N-word during an interview to make a point that there's still plenty of room for America to combat racism. Racism, we are not cured of it. And it's just a matter of not being polite to say nigger in public, Obama said in an interview. That's not the measure of whether racism still exists or not. It's not just a matter of overt discrimination. Societies don't overnight completely erase anything that happened 200 to 300 years ago. You think if they're not saying it out loud, you could think it. You can't read a person's mind. And when they're at home, they say it. We say it ourselves. The NAACP a while back tried to get the word extinguished, but you can't. How are you going to get rid of a word? You can't extinguish the word. But the jarring comment comes as the nation is engaged in a debate over the role of race after a white supremacist killed 9 African Americans last week at a historically black church in Charleston. They also reflect a growing willingness for Obama to discuss race during the final years of his presidency, because you know it's not going to be discussed after that. It'll be swept under the rug like it's always been. All right, as Kanye West learned the hard way in 2009, it's not smart to mess with Taylor Swift. The rapper's attempt to upstage the then teenage singer-songwriter during an awards show backfired almost immediately, with West, I'm gonna let you finish, becoming a snarky internet cultural phase. But few today would dare grab the microphone for from Swift. Now she's 25. She has 18 million Twitter followers. And she got on Twitter and said that she could not believe that Apple was not going to pay the royalties for the music until you have a 3-month trial period. And she got on Apple and complained about it, and her 18 million followers got on, and before you knew it, Apple said they'll always make sure that their artists are paid. They changed that policy immediately. So, you know, Taylor Swift is a force to be reckoned with. The creator of the pink plastic lawn flamingo dies at 79 years old. I don't know how many of you remember the pink plastic. It was a pink plastic flamingo. My mother used to have one. It was kind of like a, you know, it was a symbol of you being, you know, somewhat wealthy or well-to-do or middle class back then. And you stick it in your front yard, just like they used to do those. They had the statues of the boys that ride the horses. The what do you call them? You know what I'm talking about. The jockeys. Jockey used to be. They used to have a black face, and that showed that household was racist when people had those jockeys out in front of their house. But the pink flamingo was like a status symbol. And I remember we had one. Pink was my mother's favorite color. Anyway, he died. He was a trained sculptor with a classic art background. He created the flamingo in 1957 for plastic company Union Products, modeling after a bird he saw in National Geographic. Millions of birds were sold. He became a multi-millionaire. He died yesterday of dementia. Also, Walmart, Sears, and eBay all announced bans on the sale of Confederate flag merchandise amid an intensifying national debate over the use of the controversial flag. So the announcements are the latest indication that the flag is a symbol of the slave-holding South, has become toxic in the aftermath of a shooting last week of our historic African-American church in Charleston, South Carolina. So as of Monday, Walmart.com carried the Confederate flag as well as an attire featuring the flag's design, such as T-shirts and belt buckles. The auction site on eBay carried the Confederate flags and accessories such as handbags and jewelry. They're also trying to get the license plates of the Confederate flag banned as well. I see Confederate flag license plates down here in Florida a lot. Okay, let me tell you this real quick, because this is the highlight of my show. A couple, of course, they're down here in Jacksonville, Florida. Let me tell you what they did. Tito and Amanda Watts were arrested over the weekend for selling golden tickets to heaven to hundreds of people. The couple who sold the tickets on the streets for $99.99 told buyers the tickets were made from solid gold and each ticket reserved the buyer a spot in heaven. Simply present the ticket at the pearly gates and you're in. Okay, so Jacksonville police stated it's not illegal to sell golden tickets to heaven, but what the couple claimed were gold turned out to be pieces of wood spray painted gold. The couple were selling their product under false pretenses. That's why they were arrested. Now, let me tell you what she said. Tito Watts, this is what he had to say actually about their arrest. I don't care what the police say. The tickets are solid gold. It ain't cut up 2x4s. I spray painted gold, and it was Jesus who gave them to me behind the Kentucky Fried Chicken and said to sell them so I could get me some money to go to outer space. I met an alien named Stevie who said if I got the cash together, he'd take me and my wife on a flying saucer of his to a planet that's made entirely of crack cocaine. They should have took those two to the nut house instead of the jail. When the couple was arrested, they were found carrying thousands of dollars in cash as well as drug paraphernalia. People were buying them like crazy. Okay, you guys, it's a storm. But I didn't mind about the storm because I'm indoors in the garage, but now, lightning. So I gotta go. Thank you for coming to the Amber Shows. I hope some of that information was good for you and gave you some insight on some things, and you have a wonderful day. Thank you. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Love you guys.